was raised, you should go ahead and go home.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Hey, it's getting real out here, man. It's getting pretty real, man. All right, so Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, Great Millstone, who were well. Honors to you fellow brothers out there kicking his word in all sincerity and truth. Being in the spirit, not being in the flesh in these last days, man. And yeah, this is what's happening, man. And we all know that this is all a hoax, you know, propagated and pushed by the elites to bring martial law. But you got to look at the bigger picture, man. The Lord is bringing these racial tensions and all these protests to pass to fulfill prophecy. Now we're in the times of 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 16 chapter. You know, so we're at the end of this man's age. And you may ask yourself, why is this happening all over the world? Why is it that all of a sudden you got these Russians, you got these different nations actually standing up for Jake? Well, you got to understand that these are the times that the Lord has warned us about. All right, sedition among men. So this is Proverbs 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, so who's the righteous? Well, nobody is righteous except Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, which the nation of Israel were joint heirs to Yahweh Shai. So that will conclude us to be righteous, being joint heirs with Yahweh Shai in the new kingdom. So it says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear his rule, the people mourn. And that's exactly what's happening. The people are mourning. Not only from this case right here, but just in general. Okay? And you got a lot of these people that lost their businesses during this so-called COVID-19. You know, you got a lot of people that are homeless in the United States and all over the world. So people, they're mourning in these different nations. They're mourning as well because they're waiting for the sons of the power to be risen back up in their proper stead. It says, verse 4, the king by judgment establishes the land, but he that receiveth gifts overthrows it. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but a righteous does sing and rejoice. That's right, man. Okay? That's exactly right. So the Lord gave the signs that will allow us to know when he's at the doors. And he's at the doors right now. Hey, because the scriptures talk about how 1,000 years to us is like a day to the Lord. And it's only been like, 3 days since the Lord left the scene? All right? So these signs are letting us know that the Lord is returning. Luke 21 and verse 8. And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed. And the time draweth near, go ye not therefore after them. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, all right, so you got Iran, which, you know, Russia is a guard unto Iran. All right, you got Venezuela partnering with Iran to help with the oil. Okay, these different nations, they're making deals with one another. In the meanwhile, they're forsaking America. So this is what is happening. It says, but when you shall hear of wars and commotion, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then he said unto me, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right, and not only with these international wars that's happening, but also in the United States, you got Jake going up against Esau. All right, you got Esau going up against Esau. So this is hell on earth, man. So we're living in these times, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. With that generation that's going to see Yahweh Shai come back. And great earthquakes should be in diverse places, and famines, pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs should there be from heaven. That's right, man. The Lord is giving us these signs to what? To boost our faith. To increase our faith every day. Because, hey, our only projective is to what? Do this work. This is what a man should do. This is what our life consists of. We wake up in the morning. All right, I wake up in the morning. I do my daily routine. All right, my exercise. Okay. Eat some breakfast. Light some incense. All right, do a little prayer. And I get to work. Because if you're not doing the work of the Most High, if your heart's not into this every single day, the Lord's going to destroy you, man, regardless if you're teaching this truth. If you're not sincere, and if you're not pushing this truth with all your might, you're going to be destroyed. We know there's a lot of demons in the midst of the sheep, man, that feign themselves to be just men. But as for the elect, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 2, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, Matter of fact, let me start at 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, we're being gathered by this word. All right, you may have brothers come on your videos, on your channel, and we're gathering through the Spirit, because we never met a lot of these brothers that truly believe in his word. But guess what? Through the Spirit, we understand these things. That you be not soon shaken in mind, so you're not supposed to be shaking when these things come to pass. You know, you're gonna have a lot of men forsake their post in these last days. All right. If you're being sincere from the very beginning, there ain't nothing you got to be afraid of, man. The Lord and the angels got you. They got your back. And that's why it's very important to do this work. Why? Because we're inquiring mercy. We're seeking mercy from the Most High. You see all these jakes out here on the streets protesting, ignorant to the fact that they're pushing this man's new world order. Well, guess what? They're going to be destroyed out here. These are the same ones that are going to be led to concentration camps. But looking at the bigger pictures, the Lord is the one that's rising up the spirit of Jake and that rebellious spirit in the midst of Babylon. So it says that you be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as the day of Yahushua is at hand, right? And so your confidence is supposed to increase as we get closer and closer. But if you've been the only ones that are going to be shaking right now is shaking, you know, trying to get carnal, get some guns and shit like that, is those that have really been playing around with the Lord's work. Okay? Even some man teaching this true. If your heart's not really into this, then you're not going to be protected, man. All right, so this is Luke chapter 21, verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh, right? And all these things are happening, man. The prophecies are jumping off the pages. So guess what? We're supposed to look up for our redemption draweth nigh. Okay? Being bold in doing this work, man. The scriptures say the house of David is going to increase more and more. Meanwhile, the house of Saul is going to decrease. So we see those that truly have the Holy Spirit from those that really don't. The Spirit of the Lord is separating all that in these last days, man. So that was just a quick prophecy update. You know, just letting you brothers know what's really going on. You know, the scriptures say, watch as well as pray. So we're watching these times, man. We're watching everything that's going on, not only in America, but also all around the world with Russia, all right, with China, with Iran. Because don't forget, this is all going to lead to World War III. But before that can happen, what has to happen? Uproars of the people. The microchip, the mark of the beast has to be implemented. All right? Sedition among men. But the elect, they're going to be safe during that time. We're going to be protected as long as we endure until the very end and be sincere in the Lord. And really, you have to be chosen from the foundations of the earth, man. But the spirit that you have right now, it kind of lets you know what your judgment is going to be. All right? If you're lukewarm, you're slothful right now, you're going to receive that judgment. You're going to receive death. But if you're hot for the Lord, if you're really sincere, then guess what? You're not going to lose your reward, man. You're not going to lose that crown that the Lord is going to give you at the end of the day. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Hey, Lord willing, I come back with you brothers. I'm going to go to a lake later on in my town. So with that, hey, Shalom.